I want to talk
Are
about
you going to record?
yeah. I want to talk about what is it that's keeping us from doing it. And we know that it's usually what's keeping us from doing what we need to do is because you wouldn't be on here if you didn't want it, right?
Right.
So it's lies that we're telling ourselves. And I went through a class just recently on assets and liabilities and how to learn how because people are attracted to you or they're not, right? And people are attracted to you because of who you are, because they like you, because of whatever your assets are. That's what attracts them to you. It's they're not attracted to you by all the fears that you have, right? They're not attracted to you by the things that are stopping you. In fact, they probably have no idea about the things that are stopping you that are. They don't know anything about it. You're the one that's got that all up here. Okay? Why do people want to spend time with you? Because of who you are. And what makes you an asset? This is what when you understand what makes your assets, what makes you are your assets. And when you understand what your assets are, then you can run from that space. You can run from the space of who you really are instead of this stuff. Okay? So, we want to learn how to focus. So there's two different things. We want to focus on your assets because that will build truth inside of your heart. All right. So we're going to do an exercise that will help you build your liabilities into your assets. So what are your liabilities? Things that you tell yourself that you think you have a lack of knowledge. You think that, well, you got to say what they really are. Sometimes laziness is actually a liability. That people would rather do other things, but fear, not thinking that you're competent, blocking yourself from whatever you think. Sorry. She lets me know when she needs to go to the bathroom, and she won't quit dinging that bell until I let her out. So forgive me 1 sec. Okay. You might think you don't know enough. You might think you're not good enough. You might think you're too heavy. You might think that why would people listen to me if I'm talking about health and I'm at my weight? This is something that she's helped me get over because that was a hang up of mine. And I know that Sandy and Lynn, both of you had lost a bunch of weight on the 180 and then you've gained a bunch of it back and now you're working on losing it back again. So mentally, has that affected you?
Oh, not at all. I'm so skinny in my mind.
That's right.
Not in your mind, but has it affected you from approaching people?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I can say that because I know from myself what that's done to me, especially when I start seeing pictures. It's so interesting that you can look at yourself in the mirror and you don't see yourself as big as you actually are. I just started seeing pictures lately and it's like, hokey Pete, that's me. And why? And it's because of a lack of confidence. It's allowed us to go back to where we were. So, and something that Danelle has said is that if you're short in one area, remember when we did the wheel a long time ago and we talked about all of our different areas of life that we have to have goals in? When we go into the health wheel and we drop way down, I always kept that high because I'm healthy, right? But I do know that, yes, I'm healthy, but I'm overweight. So am I really healthy? I'm healthy because I don't have any medications is what I think. I'm healthy because I feel great. But I do know that my weight is an issue. So I'm very excited that I've started now doing the cleanse once a month. And I don't know, call it the detox, call it the cleanse, call it whatever, but doing that once a month is helping me because then your choices are better throughout the month. It's weird how it works, but because in my mind now, and I have just joined a 90-day challenge with a group of friends, and I think this might be something that we can do together even with our group, or anybody that you want to bring into it, is a group of friends that every day you have to walk a mile. Not at your normal work, whatever you normally do because you got all the steps there, but you actually walk a mile. Okay? So, we'll do different things to avoid going and making calls or doing what we are necessary to do. I'm going back to liabilities. This one really hit me hard because it's not, in my heart, it's not true. But it is true. If you do not move forward, it means that we are being selfish and we're unwilling to serve others.
Ooh.
Yeah. That hurts.
Say that again.
That if we are not willing to share with others, that we are being selfish and unwilling to serve. Because we know that when we share Shackley, whether it is in the nutrition part or whether it's in the financial part, it doesn't matter which side, who it is that we're talking to, that we are being very selfish and unwilling to help. Because we're so focused on ourselves and why we can't. When we're all perfectly capable because we love people and we talk. None of us are mutes, right?
No. Some people think that I do, but no.
Yes. So what I want to do, I'm going to pause the video, pause the recording, but what I want to do is I want to make this a working thing. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. I want to make this a working, and I want you to take a piece of paper and draw it down the middle. And on the one side, put assets, things that you know that you're good at, things you know that you can bring to the table with anybody that you talk to. Because you've done it before, you know you can. Okay? And then on the other side, the piece of paper, it's liabilities. And your liabilities are all the things that you have used to stop you in your tracks. All the lies that you've been telling yourself, or maybe some of them are truth. But I would like to take, let's go about at least 5 minutes, okay? And let's write these down.
That's a great place to be out in all of our winter garb, working with the dogs and doing it. But I have real hang-ups. I have a beautiful yard with a pool that Shackley paid for that I worked hard to get. But I have some insecurities about I grew up with nothing, and so it's kind of scary for me to let people see.
To think that you're bragging and you're, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was addressed in Greece on this.
Yeah.
Something because she wants me to start a thing. She said, Nina, you've been in this for 40 years. You've made a couple $1 million. And she said, you're in the same company. That is unheard of. That is unheard of to be in that long. And then she said, I want you to start something called Nina Knows. She said, do you know how many people are teaching network marketing that have never made $1,000? I'm like, what? She said, yes, people are making. And I said, well, to me, that just sounds so proud. And she said, you have had 11 or 12 cars. You don't even know what you've had. And I said, yeah. She said, so I'm right now I'm in a group of training. and she's worked with me on this in there. And then the next thing she said, and you have traveled the world with your children? And I said, yeah. And you live strictly on your business? And I said, yeah. And you're 65 years old? Yeah. And you want to get started and go again? And I said, yeah. And so, when she asked me those questions, I get really excited because she's doing the asking. I said, but I feel like when I talk about it, I'm bragging. And it goes back to a church upbringing of humbleness. And even the 9 and nose thing, it's humbleness. I'm just like, oh, that just sounds like I'm bragging. She said, absolutely not. She said, do you know how many people would love everything you've got? And this is when she said to me, do you know how selfish you're being by not sharing that? Do you know how many people would love to have that? So whether it's younger, that people start at a younger age, or whether it's people your age who have to work at Walmart or to work at some of these stores to be able to live because they don't have enough to live on.
Right.
So Ellen, do all of your friends vacation around the world and have fun?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have some that do. I don't have a lot that travel. And Nina, I'll have to admit, another thing, and my daughter brings this to my attention all the time, I gravitate toward needy people.
Oh.
I
not worthy to be with people. Oh, that is so good. That's something else that we have been taught, because we are all fives, okay? We are all, on a scale of 1 to 10, we are all fives. We have a choice if we always hang out with 4, 3, 2, 1s, or if we hang out with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s. You want to always be the least of those that you're hanging around with. You want to be a 5, and everybody else you hang around with, you want to be above you.
See, that has always been an issue for me.
Because what are you afraid of, Ellen?
Well, I don't know that I'm afraid. Well, I guess it is some fear, but what my issue is I was raised in such a difficult home, dysfunctional. Abandonment issues from my father, and I always had friends. I've always been able to make good friends, but my friends always felt they were better. They had 2 bathing suits, and I was okay. It was lucky to have one. And
they felt they were better, or you felt they were better?
That I felt they were better. No. I've always had wonderful friends. I don't think they ever saw me anyway. But I was a high achiever.
Something else? Something else I learned, and when you tie this into religion, because my roommate said to me, because I complained about how I looked a couple of times, and she said to me, you must have grown up in a legalistic church. It was so awesome because everybody that was there was Christian.
Right.
She said, you must have grown up in a legalistic church. And I'm like, what? Why would you say that? What does that have to do with my weight, right? But it has to do with our image of who we are. Right. She said, you don't think you're worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Said, you're a beautiful woman and you don't think you're worthy. And I was like, whoa.
That's huge.
And that has come around to me several times. And what I'm hearing that same thing come out of you now, Ellen.
Sure. I know that. And I've known it, it's forever.
And so you are a strong Christian.
Absolutely. Well, I got out of legalism.
Oh, listen to this. We got
I got out of legalism a long time ago, though. Thank goodness. I mean, exactly. I got out of religion into relationship.
Exactly. That's what I say. There's such a difference between religion and Christianity. So think about that. You're still hanging on to a bunch of that from your past.
Sure.
So I think the only way that you're going to get past that is to focus on every single blessing that the Lord has given you. And I think what will help you do that, from what I'm learning, is to write a gratitude journal.
You know, Nana, when you mentioned that last week, I've done that for years. That is one thing I do.
Tell me what you do.
I write down, I read Ann Voskamp's book years ago on 1,000 Gifts. And that was what it was all about, was every day writing down 5 things that you are.
Okay. So 5 is easy.
Yeah.
So write down 10 things every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, and I don't know if both of you are doing this. Lynn and Sandy, you're on this side. I'm sorry. I want you to do that every day. Write down 10 things I am thankful for. And then write down 3 goals. Every single day, the same goals until you reach them. And don't make them unreachable goals. You need 2 short-term goals in there. So if your goal is that I want to lose 20 pounds by, what's realistic for 20 pounds for either of you?
3 months.
2 months.
Okay. So let's write down, I will, or your goal is 20 pounds, and then you put the date, and then the next thing you put down is who is it for, which is you. And then the next thing is, what do I have to give up? Okay. And write those same ones down every single day. And then the last thing you write down is something that you read or something that you listened to that you learned. Or something, it doesn't even, I mean, if it's something that it was refreshed to you again. So that's called gratitude, growth, and goals. Lynn, you were going to say something.
Well, first of all, you do know that we're still paused on recording because you've shared some really awesome things.
We're not. I unrecorded. I mean, I started
That's
recording
good.
again.
That's good.
Because and I started when I was going in with Ellen, because
Okay.
that is a topic that so many people deal with. And I didn't realize that I was alone in that. But she's gotten me out of, I'm not bragging, I'm telling the truth, and I'm telling it for your sake.
Well, you know, Nana, I believed with all my heart that when you connected with me, or I connected with you, because I listened to a short video, and so I had heard her share a little bit about her testimony, and I knew then that, you know, you understood.
What is your
That's the thing, you know, when we all have, like Nana just said, we think we're the only one. But I have been in Shakti long enough to see so many people just like us that have been held back from growing and doing what they could have done in Shakti because of all the things we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. It's what, and you know, Gary Burke always said this, your business grows in proportion to what you do.
Yeah.
If you don't grow, you're gonna fight this stuff. You'll bring people in, you'll sell to them instead of sharing with them, you'll sell to them and they'll be gone, and you'll have 100 members and no volume, you know, or 50 members and no volume, because here you're not okay with who you really are. You're hiding all kinds of crap from the past.
Right.
So
We're pulling our little red wagons.
yes.
Well, but unfortunately, what we're pulling in that red wagon is stones. We're carrying heavy stones that are part of our past that should not be there. And I have, praise God, I have moved beyond a lot of that. Losing my husband suddenly 28 years ago was devastating. Losing my mother 7 months later. Then my daughter getting married. Then 11 years later, she finally has a child, and her husband walks away, and she has a child with special needs that she's raising. Then I come back in to help her and build my business.
And look how you have been blessed.
You have to let go. That's what I'm saying.
You need to focus.
I do not complain. I love my life.
Yes.
And God has really blessed us.
And that's what you have to focus on.
Yeah. And
Yes.
that I do what I love.
we just had a sermon about this a couple weeks ago. Every single thing in life that happens to us, like my post the other day, happens for us, not to us. Because
Absolutely.
that's what's worse. Now, if we, for years, I didn't listen, and I just kept getting hit over the head until finally I realized, okay, I have to learn from this and move on. And once you learn from them and become a better person, because the post that I'm putting up is that when I get around to it today, because I'm gone as soon as I'm done here in 2 minutes, is that your life is your story. What you do with that story is up to nobody but you.
Well, and that too, Cody today, when he was signing off, he goes, Lynn, remember, you're $1 million. I said, wow, thanks. Okay. We've been trying to be retired. Trust me, it really is fun playing retirement. I really can't wait for it to be real. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to change that. I am going to, oh, babe, we got $1 million. I'm $1 million right here. We're good. And just the whole change of attitude. And he literally started laughing. He goes, and on that note, you're giving me a great day and you have yourself a great day too.
Then you have so much in you to give. And you have the comedic part to you that attracts people.
Mm-hmm.
People love you when you're just being you.
Yep.
And what happens is when you start going into another area, you start closing yourself up. So we're going to conclude on that note, because I just remembered that I was in charge of the food for our brat fry this weekend at church. I remembered Tuesday night, and it's for 650 people.
Oh my word. Oh.
Yeah, but I got it ready, and I have to get to Milwaukee.
Wow.
Look, Nada, can I ask one quick question before we go? I was hoping we'd have time, but we'll do it another time. But when you do a post, like a story, your Insta story, and you have something across that, like you may say inspiring, or do you do that from Peace App?
No, you take your picture on your phone if it's on stories.
Okay.
And then here, let me get to a picture. I just did something on my phone and I lost all kinds of stuff, but so if I want to share this,
Right.
okay, so you click on your picture,
Uh-huh.
and then you go down on the bottom. This is on an Android phone.
Right.
You see the T?
Yes.
You
Okay.
click on the T,
And that's
it's right
text.
on there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Okay.
If you have an iPhone, it's the same thing. You just have to click on it for editing. And the pencil is usually the edit thing.
Okay. Sandy,
Okay.
if you will send me your email address. Do you have my email address?
I don't know, but I'll find out.
Okay, it's ellen@ellenreynolds.com. Easy. I'll send you a sheet.
When you want to share stuff, I have found that getting emails is so, then you got to, if you're connected on Facebook, it's
I do that too.
easy to share anything with anybody that way.
I could do that too.
Okay.
To share it on this one and everybody could get it. And then one quick thing, I got a special deal on some, wants to know, and I could send a media mail. So
okay, so what I want you to do this week, you guys, and we're going to talk about it more next week, is I want you to spend a good hour on this through the week. And
on the what?
On your assets and
yeah.
your liabilities. Because I want to get rid of those liabilities. I want you to look at anything that you wrote there that they're gone. So, okay?
I will not be around next week or the following week, with 4th of July falling the following week.
Oh, yeah.
Is the 4th on a
the 4th is on a Thursday.
We won't be doing Friday then.
Okay. So next week, I'm not even going to be around here. I'm going to be in the middle of a cornfield in a camper.
Oh, wow.
Don't ask. It's hilarious.
Okay,
So,
cool.
but I will send this to you, Nina, so that if you can share with everybody, that's fine too.
Okay, and the other thing is after we're done with that, maybe doing some one-on-one coaching with each of you if you want to, on just on this part here, okay?
Got it.
Okay, cool. Have an awesome week.
You too. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.